Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
From the onset of developing even a business plan for FieldCraft Survival, the idea was to attract all walks of life. Truly, the one factor that's common to all is this idea of disaster, of catastrophe, of worst-case scenarios. And that's applicable to every human being that's on the planet. I think the biggest benefit in our mission set is that we focus on people. There's not a political affiliation, there's not a genre, there's not a target demographic for us. It's everybody. If everybody can, come out of their condo in San Francisco or their rural ranch in Montana and know that catastrophe is an equal opportunist, then there's a conversation that we had that could lead to preparedness. I am in fear of nothing because I've been confronted in every aspect of my life with not just fear in fighting the enemy in combat, but fear in losing everything that means the most to me. In the mix of me trying to find myself and redefining my purpose, I lost it all. It was a process that now I understand to be the reason I'm so passionate about what I do every single day, not only in my personal relationships with people, but my purpose at FieldCraft Survival. I never want to be in that moment, on the ground, on my knees, begging for my life when I had my life. That's how close it is to the surface, which drives me to be who I am.
Somebody who's never been around a horse who's scared.
Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Whoa. Do you ever have one of those moments where you think, how the hell did I get here? Jeez, what happened to me? I was ruling the galaxy, had a cherry new battle station. I mean, this place had an omelet bar, a straight-up omelet bar. And now look, my former intern's tossing me down a bottomless freaking pit. Come to think of it, my whole life has been a series of what the moments. That was my out.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
You said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Broadcasting live from the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. Yeah. Man. I am your host, Ice. And my other host, Flyish.
What's up?
Y'all hear us? Hang on. Yep, you can all hear us. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Welcome to the Monday edition on WTF Nation Radio, U.S. Army WTF Moments. God dang. It's a Monday, Flash. What's been up with you, bro? How was your day today?
I swear, no, it doesn't get any easier no matter which day. It's just like everyone's like, oh, it's a new year. No, it's not. It's 2020. Just redux. It's a continuation.
It's the continuation of 2020.
It's 2020 part 2.
It's December 10th, or is that what is there, or something like that, or the continuation of the 38th. The 38th day of the 58th day.
It's December 56.
Yeah, exactly. What is going on, guys? I see you on the chats. I see you, Dan. I see everybody. Hey, what's up, Steve? Veteran Trash Talk, what's going on? Man, I can't wait to show up on your show. I can be a little bit more loose in my tongue there and just talk shit and get people butthurt and all that stuff again. So today in the news, we have big news. We have a guest, a friend of mine that I've known for just about 20 years. Coming on here, George Bill from FieldCraft Survival. That video that you saw earlier was a video that the how do I say this? He's the freaking the Mike. Was it Mike Glover? God, I'm fucking with those names right now, dude. I'm sorry, man. I'm like really fucking up. I've just been busy, bro. I've just been jacked up today.
It's been a busy week.
I like
and it's Monday.
Yeah, well, no, I have like five different things going on at the same time. I'm dealing with some stuff with multimedia stuff and talking to other groups to get their streams ready and to help them out. And the video that you saw in the beginning was Mike Glover. He is the CEO of FieldCraft Survival, and George is going to be coming on, and he's the VP. So he's going to be on here and shoot their shit. He's even going to do a cooking show. We're going to post a cooking show after the show's done, and he's going to show you how to make some premier out and about cooking out in the field, which that's what I'm talking about. You know me, I love chow. I love cooking. So it's going to be some croissant French toast with some out in the field cooking. Can't wait. Off the grid cooking episode's going to be at the end of the show. So I'm excited. Of course, we're going to have George. God, see, I'm fucking up the names, bro. I've known this guy for 20 years. I'm calling him Joe and shit. George. Hey, George, what's going on? I see you on the chats. My bad, bro.
Do you need a shot? Do we need to restart?
I think so, man. I think I need a shot because, well, I did some Zooms today. I did some fucking just a bunch of coordinating with stuff. It just I don't know. Today I'm out of phase. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like off my kilter today. It's just weird. I haven't even paid attention to the news. What the hell's going on in the news? You know what's going on in the news? What's up in the news?
Well, we pissed off the Canadians.
Oh shit! What do we do now?
Well, so one of the first acts that happened under the Biden administration was the rescinding of the presidential permits for the pipeline, the XL pipeline, and the Canadians are really pissed. So much so that the premier for Alberta actually, has gone on, I think went on Fox, course, but has put out statements saying that they're upset because it's like a couple thousand union jobs are now gone because they're not going to be able to do this pipeline. So much so that Trudeau, who is like, the Canadians are an interesting breed because they'll fight you and then apologize for fighting you. Like, they're just like the nicest people. Like, they're the only ones who are like, go looking at the Nazis like, oh, sorry, I shot you in the face, mate. They're just the Canadians. They're overly nice. Trudeau wasn't having any of Biden's bullshit. They had a conversation that I think yesterday or the day before, they had a conversation, and they talked about this because Canada wants the money that comes from this because their country is not immune for what has happened. Alberta is, and if you've ever been to Canada, it's not like Quebec or it's like Alberta. There's more cows than people out there. Like it's not a it's like Siberia type. Like there's not a lot of people out there, but they need the people who out there need the money. They need the cash infusion, and this doesn't help because closing down this pipeline. Now, I'm not advocating one way or another for the pipeline. I'm just stating facts. But dropping this pipeline does hurt their economy. There's thousands of people who are now going to go without jobs. Trudeau had a conversation with Joe Biden. Trudeau put out a statement after the call saying that he pretty much let Biden know that they were pretty upset about this and that they're hoping that he'll change his mind or maybe come to a different agreement or something like that. Joe Biden's camp pretty much said, well, we had a conversation, we expressed we understand the strife they're under, and that was pretty much it. It's been a long this pipeline has been a long issue with environmentalists and progressives who find it that there has been a couple instances where we've had leaks coming from this pipeline. It's still not like completely finished, but what they're expecting is it'll be able to push through 836,000 barrels of crude oil a day. From Alberta all the way down to down to the Gulf, which is a big it's a big plus. So there's a lot of issues with that. There's a lot of people who are upset. There's a lot of people who are happy. Day one, Biden throws a bone to the environmentalists, the Green Party, and progressives out there. But Canada's not happy. Canada's not happy at all.
So why do you think that there was going to be? I didn't realize it was so intertwined.
Keystone, there we go.
Keystone Pipeline,
XL
yeah.
Pipeline.
I didn't realize that it was so intertwined with the other government that I didn't. Are you saying that this was a violation of some sort of agreement or treaty or some shit? To where I don't know the nuance or the intricacies of the paperwork that was done to do the Keystone Pipeline or all that, but I do know that it wasn't international contracts and stuff like that, right? I mean, wasn't there? I mean, it's obvious if Canada's pissed off. I didn't really think that that would stop like fast. You know what I mean? I thought it was going to be a gradual thing.
So right now there's a pipeline. It goes from Hardisty, which is in Alberta. It's a little bit north. Alberta. So it goes like Quebec, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and then no one lives out in the other spot, so they don't care about it. Right now there's a pipeline that there's existing Keystone Pipeline that goes from Hardisty. It comes down to close to Alberta, takes a hard right through Saskatchewan all the way to near Winnipeg, and then drops down through North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, and then shoots out from all the way to Illinois and to Galveston in Texas. So so there is a pipeline already. This new pipeline, which is the XL pipeline, it cuts that in half. So instead of going through Saskatchewan, through near Winnipeg, and then coming down, it actually will go down towards Calgary, then shoots down to Montana, to South Carolina, to Nebraska. So it cuts it in half. But the problem is that it does go through tribal lands. Now, the Keystone XL extension actually comprises two segments. The first, a southern leg that has already been built and completed and runs between Cushing, Oklahoma, and Port Arthur, Texas. Now, opponents of this project have called the Gulf Coast Pipeline say that the TC Energy took advantage of a legal loophole to push the pipeline through, securing a U.S. Army Corps of Engineers permit and dodging U.S. environmental protection
there we go.
vetting process.
Now we're getting somewhere. Go on.
So there has been leaks already. Tar sands oil is thicker, more acidic, and more corrosive than lighter conventional crude. So there is that. And there's the likelihood that the pipeline carrying it will leak. Indeed, one study found between 2007 and 2010, Pipelines moving tar sands oils in Midwestern states spill 3 times more per mile than U.S. national average for pipelines carrying conventional crude. So there is that, and the problem is that where they're trying to go is through Native American land. Now they have, and there's the issue is that these reservations are almost like self-sufficient. Not sometimes not the greatest. I've been on a couple of reservations in different capacities, and some control their area better than others, but they are for the most part self-sufficient, and they rely on their water supply and stuff like that. Where a leak from a big leak from from the tar sands crude oil could endanger their drinking water, which could really endanger the reservations themselves to be self-sufficient. So there is that danger. If you remember back in the Obama administration, there were several demonstrations where it got pretty crazy. Dogs, tear gas, people fighting. It was it's pretty crazy. So that there is that. Now, the Keystone Pipeline extension, was proposed by the energy infrastructure company TC Energy, formerly TransCanada, in 2008. It was designed to transport the planet's dirtiest fossil fuel to market and fast. An expansion of the company's existing Keystone Pipeline system, which has been operating since 2010, is already sending the Canadian tar sands crude from Alberta, like we talked about, all the way down to Port Arthur and to Illinois to find different avenues out. Again, you would be able to transport 830,000 barrels tar sands oil per day to refineries on the Gulf Coast of Texas, opposed to what they do now, which is a lot, less, because it takes more time the way the pipeline is right now. Some 3 million miles of oil and gas pipelines already run through our country, but the Keystone XL wouldn't be your average pipeline, and the tar sands isn't your average crude. Like we talked about, it is more acidic. There is more issues with it, but it's money for Alberta. They have people who are building that right now. So you're pretty much, you're crushing the jobs already. They're union jobs too. So, it's kind of a sad day. So yeah, Trudeau was mad. The Alberta premier is mad. Pretty much all of Canada pretty much start talking when, oh, we don't like this.
I'm funny you mentioned that you talk about the unions. Did the unions did the unions support Biden? Did they endorse Biden at all?
Well, right now these unions that we're talking about are the Canadian ones, and I don't think they supported him. I'm not sure. Now, a fully realized Keystone XL pipeline would lead to more mining of the nasty stuff, as some people call it. There is worry that it could lead to greater greenhouse emissions. In 2014, the EPA stated that tar sands oil emits 17% more carbon than other types of crude. But ironically, the State Department revised the number upward 3 years later, stating that the emission would be 5% to 20% higher than previous indicated. So there are some things to worry about when it comes to this, but it also is providing jobs. It is providing self-sufficient energy for between Canada and the U.S. So there's different ways to take it. There's no cut and dry. This is bad. This is good. There are risks that come with it, because it is the type of oil this is, or the type of crude oil this is, and the likelihood that there could be leaks along the way. But it does keep us energy independent, which is always a thing that I think the U.S. really needs to strive for, in Flash's opinion. And it's also jobs are in a tough time. Like right now with COVID and everything, a lot of countries are shut down. Jobs are, it's hard to do some of these jobs. Hell, even though California did just lift their COVID stay-at-home order, they shut down on most of the businesses. Like, I'm surprised. There's businesses in my area that are shut down, and for good. So anyone having a steady job, including I think it's like you said, like 1,500, 2,000 people. That's 2,000 homes that now have to figure out how are we going to pay the rent. How are we going?
So you're saying that California, you're saying that California's lifting all their COVID restrictions now, pretty much?
So the last thing I saw that COVID did that they did restrict their stay-at-home order, where they pretty much said you don't need to be outside, stay the fuck at home. So we'll see what happens with that.
Oh boy!
But they are starting to lift restrictions in some places, even though we've already passed something like 100 million infected in the U.S. And we passed it was the 400,000 deaths mark.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, which is a shame.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where I want some accurate. I hate going to other news agencies to find out what the accurate count is. You know what I mean? I want to. Do we have a CDC one, or did you grab any notes?
I can look. Let's look at it now.
Yeah, just check it out. Because I do know that California was having some issues. Well, actually, not everyone has a lot of issues, not just California. In the close down.
Got it right here.
Go for it. Shoot it.
So right now, currently, we have 417,936 total deaths. That's as of from yesterday to today. We just added a little over 1,900 new deaths. We're looking at an average daily daily cases per 100,000 people in the last 7 days is around 50, and we're at 25,018,520. We've added 142,000 new cases over the last day. So places like California, I mean, they've got 3 million cases. They've got 93 deaths per 100K. Other hot spots are Arizona, Georgia, South Carolina, New York. Texas doesn't look too bad. Utah's, they've got a bunch of cases. Utah's has more cases per 100,000 than California. They're at about 7,000. And then in Georgia, cases per 100,000 people is about 8,100. Same thing in South Carolina, New York, which is about 6,800. And then little Rhode Island, 10,000 cases per 100,000 people. Damn. But you got places like Washington, even though there's tons of protests, demonstrations, and riots, they're still on the low end. Michigan's on the low end with Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota. That's.
Now, have those numbers been able to be attributed to whatever big events that happened, like the protest last year, the Chaz event? You know what I mean? The thing in the Pacific Northwest. Anything in the inauguration, anything from the January 6th event to you know what I mean? Has there been any spikes? Has anybody said, okay, now, because I do know that there were some individuals that were tested positive for COVID that were part of the sacking of the Capitol.
I haven't seen, weirdly enough, any spikes with that.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for it, but new president, who cares, right? We don't care if it's weird how only certain demonstrations and stuff, have spikes and those don't. I just, it's.
Well, I just want to know. Well, my big thing is that that's what I'm saying. I want to know if it was so important to track, then why wasn't it tracked for a specific event? So, in other words, I wanted to know if there was some trend analysis, and then was there some, some analysis done and some statistics drawn up. Okay, after this big event, we have recorded a spike. You know what I mean? Just to watch the trends, and that's. That's one thing I hate about fucking when you're dealing with politics either on either side with this is that if it's too much then if it's a rise then or if it's gone down or there's been whatever, they seem to attach a fucking tag to the political slant of what it's going to be for. If it's against Trump, no, they went straight up. If it's against Biden, no, they went down. I just want to know the deets because that'll help out a little bit before everyone starts overreacting into saying, "Oh no, it was done on his watch" or "it was done on his watch." I just think that the COVID stats have been just shifted too fucking much and not given a probable window, or the Sturgis rally exactly, or the Oklahoma whatever where Herman Cain died. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton to unpack there. All we know right now is that, everyone's pushing to get these vaccinations out. So far, I've heard there, we did lose some, we have lost some notable people like Hank Aaron, We lost him over the weekend, which is really sad. The home run champion, one of the best hitters ever.
Bro, Larry King.
We lost Larry King at 86. Granted, he looked like he was 172, but whatever. We lost him, but they are changing how they push out these vaccinations. States are getting a lot better at making sure that if there's extra or people refuse, hey, I don't want it, that they are immediately finding people to take these to get these vaccinations. I know that the Army's doing a great job, and I do appreciate, because I am on the social webs all the time because I have no life, that I'm seeing the leaders from all these different units out there front getting these vaccinations. Several of them, going on there saying that this is safe. TRADOC, I think it's not TRADOC, or actually has like a kind of like Mythbuster series where they're kind of talking about different elements, like the myth that it's going to change your DNA, or the myth that soldiers are being forced to take these to get these vaccinations. It's all.
Yeah, that's a good point. I wish individuals though would just kind of like chill out when someone makes a joke about it, because then people are really. I think the way the military the military humor on when it comes to stuff like this, like we've always said that when a new vaccine comes out, like for instance when the anthrax came out, we always said we're going to grow an extra horn on our head, or we're going to grow a third eye, or we're going to have Superman powers. And I'm glad that commanders are making those jokes, but then say, hey, but serious, this is it, because in this environment right now, that it's voluntary, right? Isn't that where? Yeah, it's currently voluntary.
As of right now, it is a voluntary thing. Even in the National Guard and Reserve, and they have people who are calling. They're still asking. I know even for myself that I've had conversations with my higher ups who are asking for volunteers and such. Actually, I've been asked twice, and my only hang up, because I would get the vaccination, but I live with some people I live with family members who are potentially high risk, and no one can give me a straight answer on is it kind of like the flu shot? Because when I got the flu shot, I stayed away from my family, because I don't want them catching something, so I had to wait a couple of days. So there are questions that still we don't have good answers on, but even people that I've talked to today who actually got the shot today, he said his arm hurt a little bit, but that was about it. And that seems to be the worst of it. Now there are some side effects, but they've been minimal. And trust me, I've been watching because I'm waiting for somebody to be like, "Oh no, I've grown a third thumb. I need."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then again, people really lose their grip and say, "You shouldn't be saying that," because I'm really starting to get pissed off at the fucking whine factor about all this stuff. It's just, hey, these are commanders that are trying to not only instill it's almost like when you jump out of an airplane and you're standing at the door and you're like, "Oh, hope the shit opens," and you're like, and you know what I mean? Just or you're driving in a tank and you're like, "Wow, man, is it supposed to do like this?" Just whatever you do in the military, there's always that little sense of humor to edge it off, and I give the leaders credit in the Army right now for having a sense of humor, saying that, hey, you should support it, hey, we're going to do this and all that. And then do it themselves. We've seen it in, like you said, TRADOC.
Even the SMA went. The SMA, the Forcecom general.
Yeah, and then the chief of staff as well.
Yeah. They had a good, the good message with it. They weren't like, it wasn't super. If you don't get this, you will die. But they are be like, hey, look, I'm doing this for, this is a team effort. We try to protect everybody and stuff like that. And then the Army has come out with some the why of why I'm getting, the kind of a good for me, it's kind of a good messaging campaign. Soldiers are holding up these sheets as, saying why they're getting stuff, and some are because the science and for my family and for my country and to keep my grandparents safe and stuff. So, and there's still tons of people who are, I mean, I don't like to say everyone's anti-science that doesn't want to get, that outright goes, no, I won't. But there's some that are fringe, QAnon, this is this is how the government gets you. They're going to put microchips in you.
They're going to have
microchips. The government doesn't care that much about you individually.
Trust me,
put a chip in
if you know how the government works, you know the bureaucratic BS of them to even get a microchip in there would be a fucking contracting nightmare.
It would be 10 years.
They were going to be like, we're going to put tracking device. Meanwhile, while they're saying they don't want to be tracked by the government, they're carrying around, they're walking around with smartphones that
they got their smartphone geotagging themselves.
Yeah, tracking all that stuff. Getting their asses busted. Again, I'm glad the commanders are doing this. I'm glad the commanders are out front because that was the concern. It's like the commands are like, hey, it's okay. We could take it and we're good to go. Scott, I feel attacked. We're good. Hey, we love you, Scott. Again, it doesn't, I don't know. It doesn't, I mean, there's people that, I guess I've never
There's
had.
still a lot of misinformation out
there,
but people are spreading. And I know it's a scary thing. We've had conversations in the webs of WTF where, this is this and, it won't do that. And we were, conversations like, hey, remember when we got rid of polio? Remember when that was a big thing?
Right.
Kids were like, couldn't fucking walk and dying. And we had a president who actually died, from polio and shit because, and that's when like the media was like really on people's side. They didn't say anything about it.
Tyler,
the man couldn't fucking walk and shit. But hey, remember how we got rid of fucking polio?
No,
it's coming back now because we have anti-vaccine.
You notice?
Remember the vaccines? Remember how we got rid of polio?
You notice the anti-vaxxers that were screaming about the connection to autism and some vaccinations. You notice that they've shut the fuck up and are endorsing this vaccination.
There's some are, and then there's some that are like, hold on, no, I don't give my kids anything.
Right,
We got rid of polio. We got rid of all kinds of diseases and shit that kids don't need to get and shit. The measles have starting to make a comeback because people are fucking stupid. But at one point, we got rid of the measles and shit. We're finding ways, or we've had like 1 or 2 cases, there's only like 1 or 2 cases of this shit. But I don't understand getting rid of stuff just to get rid of stuff. Not getting vaccines just to not get vaccines.
You notice
there's a lot of benefit to it. I know a lot of people are, well, it came out so quickly. It's like, yes, because the president actually went through and cut a lot of like this red tape. They didn't cut the safety procedures that went along with approving it, because how shitty would a administration look if they came out and it was like all of a sudden I did actually grow a fucking third eye or something like that.
Tyler says the shot comes with a bug to make you want to read and listen deaf with no bonus. Exactly. It makes you want to read and listen. Right. Exactly. Or it makes you want to get stationed.
I want to go airborne. Oh shit, he got the shot.
Whatever, dude. Fucking whatever, man.
Fucking kangaroos coming out going, you want to go airborne, right?
It makes you hallucinate and see kangaroos. Dude, no, I'm serious. I've never seen so much to the point where people are like, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it. And then like in the next breath they're going, well, I got to get my kid vaccinated to enroll him in school.
Yeah, everyone says they can't do it until like, cool. Are you? Hey, you say, well, if they make it where I have to have my kids vaccinated for polio and measles and mumps and stupid shit like that, well, I'm gonna homeschool. Well, now that COVID hit and people actually had to fucking homeschool, I hope you reconsider, because
oh my god,
my wife was all about homeschooling, especially after the Parkland shooting. My wife was very much considering homeschooling. My mother-in-law homeschooled my sister-in-law, not my wife, but my sister-in-law, because she was a couple of years younger. And my wife had the idea, keep them safer, blah blah blah. And then after COVID, she's ready for this little knucklehead to go to school. she's like, nah, like they, a lot of areas have, they've, coming off of the holidays and knowing that people aren't going to, have social distancing, stuff like that. A lot of schools have pushed back going back into the classroom. Some were doing like hybrid.
How many parents do you think that once everybody starts moving up, how many? I think the traffic is going to pick up so fucking bad once in school happens again. I mean, parents are going to be like, get the fuck. We love our kids.
I'm already like, I looked at my son today and I was like, boy, I can't wait for you to go back to school.
Exactly.
Like even 2 days a week isn't, because they would do 2 days in school.
Right.
They would do one on Wednesdays would be like a grand total of like an hour and a half or whatnot, and then it was supposed to be asynchronous where they send home, like we go and pick up a bunch of sheets for them to do and stuff like that, and then Thursday and Friday are online, and they flip flop, so there's other people who are online Monday and Tuesday and in reverse. And at least that was good. I think my son learns better being in the classroom. I tell you what, I'll give him whatever shot he needs to go. And and every so often my wife's like, oh, I know they're gonna, right now you have the choice, but they're soon gonna make you. I went, all right. He's like, aren't you worried? I'm like, it's like I've had more shots in me than
Exactly.
I can remember. Like my sheet is like 10 feet long.
I think there's going to be accidents once once all the kids.
Korea, I've been to Afghanistan, I've been to Europe, I've been to fucking,
you got the smallpox,
to Africa. Like I've had all kinds of fucking shots just for every this, that, and the other. I said I've got full boosters. I said my blood is biohazard. I'm surprised. You know how they got the COVID? They went down and found some crusty master sergeant who was about to fucking retire, and they just like, hey, brother, we need to borrow your blood. Come on down. They pulled a child like they did for Baby Yoda and synthesized his blood. This cure everything.
No, the thing is that he's probably, because they probably got somebody with a really high term of service in already, so that way they can get all the concentrated vaccination, smokes, rippets, monster drinks, energy drinks, and then they synthesize it with that too. Because I'll be honest with you, it just seemed like it was no big deal to go to SRP to go get your shots, because they're like, oh, okay, here. Oh,
hey, what shot is this for? And the guy looks like, I don't know.
The guy's like, it's MMR or
Hep I don't know. I'm just supposed to give you the shot.
Yeah.
Like,
you're supposed to get these, or do you feel your arm burning? No, you're good.
Hey, do you hear things in different languages? No. Oh, okay, cool.
Right. Do you see sound? Do you see sound? Maybe.
Can you taste colors right now? No. Okay, cool. You're good to go. Like, here's another shot. Just like, hey, you know what? We did notice that we have this random shot that we need to get rid of. Come here.
I was wondering, it's like rotating that stuff out. Again,
I still remember the peanut butter shot in basic training. By weirdly enough, a guy who was in the unit with my father at some point. I don't remember how me and him got in the conversation right before. He stuck a giant needle in my ass, but hey. I had that, it was a good old penicillin shot. I was good to go. I was like, if I came with anything, it died.
Okay. But are they in where you're at? Are they saying, okay, kids can come in just like you said, just a hybrid half day, or are they still?
No, they're still at least to the end of the month. At least to the end of this week. It looks like they're sticking to this online now. We haven't seen anything recently about like, hey, you come back to school or not. But we're all counting down. I mean, I'll throw a little party. Like, I won't lie. I never thought I'd be the parent, like their kids, summer camp, they go off to school and they throw like a woohoo. But I'm about to be that parent,
dude. I'm pretty sure parents are going to have like a block party, freaking keggers and stuff, and they're probably going to have to get designated drivers. Because I imagine the traffic is going to be so insane once everyone starts taking their kids to school that there's going to be traffic accidents, and you're going to like get in a head-on collision, or you're going to get in an accident in an intersection. You're just going to tell your kid, get out, just just keep walking, just go to school, we'll catch up. That's how bad it is right now.
Yeah, you walk that way,
walk that way.
35 degrees, you're fine.
Exactly. I'm telling you, man, because I'm coming to realize, and you've heard my baby Isa 4 when right before we're right on air, and he'll talk back to me. Yeah, he's just like, dude, he's literally, he'll hear it like tonight. If he goes to bed and he's already and he's asleep in his bed, no big deal, no issues. But sometimes I'll do a broadcast and he will almost repeat some of the lines from what I say, and I'm thinking, God. Or he'll you you know what I mean, just like, dude, man, stop, just stop. The kids need to go. I mean, come on, parents out there, for a fact you're pulling your freaking hair out if you're staying home with these little shits. And it's time for you to leave. It's, even if it's raining and you want to take a break, go outside, but it's raining outside. Here's a poncho. I'm not. Dude, it's frustrating, man. It's frustrating.
Oh, you're going to have to stand out in the rain.
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
Oh man, it's funny.
Survive.
Well, so real quick, I know we can tap on this right here before we hit the other stuff. You want to hit the sports page now for a little bit, or do you want to just?
Yeah, it's gonna be because there's not a lot of sports going on.
Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
But we could talk about now that Super Bowl is set. Dun dun.
Dude,
very excited because old man Brady.
Okay, yeah, the picks. Let's go over the picks. We picked last.
You kicked my ass. Like I picked the Bills, you picked the Chiefs. It wasn't too. I picked that because I really wanted the Bills to make it to the Super Bowl. It was a close game. It was the second game of the Sunday night duo. Chiefs 14-2, Bills 13-3. Both great records. Bills 6-2 away, Chiefs 6-2 at home. But I'll tell you what, it started off kind of rocky for the Chiefs, but they just plowed their second. They got over that first quarter and they were good to go, scoring 21 points. Bills they kicked. I was watching some people today on like ESPN, and they're talking about how the Bills settle for way too many field goals instead of trying for those touchdowns, and it ended up busting them in the butt. They scored 9 points in the first quarter. 3 points in the second, 3 points in the third, and then another 9 points in the fourth. It's kind of weird. But it's like almost like they didn't score any touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, man, tell you what, he is like sharpened and honed and ready to go, throwing for 325 yards and 3 touchdowns now. Weirdly enough, Josh Allen, the quarterback for the Bills, had the most rushing yards. He ran 88 yards on 7 carries. But Tyreek Hill for Kansas City, I mean, man, knocking on that 200 reception game.
Right,
he had 172 on 9 receptions. It was a really good game, but this, Mahomes he's very creative as a quarterback. Actually, even before the show started, I was talking with my dad, and he was like, what was that shovel pass? For one of the touchdowns, he literally he looked like he was it was almost like a boot where he was running it out and realized that everything around him was collapsing, running back right in front of him, and he just kind of was like, here, hot potato, and bam, that's 6 points right there. He's not married to, I have to throw the ball, or he'll go, I'll fucking just whatever. He's a whatever I have to do quarterback to get it done.
No, yeah, he's versatile. He can think on his feet. That's the thing that
very versatile.
And he's not. He's like you said, he's not tied down to one specific play, but it was just funny watching it, and I'm thinking, wow, it was getting kind of touchy there for a minute, but towards the end of it,
it was getting a little chippy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
They were letting him play. They were, for both games actually. The refs, I don't know, what was going on, but the umpires were letting them play. To the detriment of certain games, but and we'll get to that next. But Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he impressed me. He's been impressive since he came into the league, and now going to his second Super Bowl, second one in a row as well, because they're the defending champs, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I don't want to say
defending champs.
I don't want. So I got my friends and family listening to this, and I know this is it's going to be like, I hear nobody tell my family, but I kind of want the Chiefs to beat the fuck out of the Bucks. That's just me.
No, spoil the next part, but if you weren't paying attention, the Buccaneers are the first team to go to the Super Bowl and host the Super Bowl. It's never happened before, but the Super Bowl is going to be in Tampa, and guess what? The Buccaneers with 11-5 record are there. Packers game. I'll tell you what, we had conversations before the football season when Brady went over to the Buccaneers.
We did.
We talked whether was Tom Brady's success attributed mostly, not all the way, mostly to the Belichick system, or Tom Brady just being the GOAT.
Yep.
Granted, there's the system can make the GOAT better, or he's the GOAT and makes the system look better and whatever.
Right.
And this was a chance to separate the two to figure it out. Well, I think we can nail this one down because Tom Brady let me get some perspective for you. The Dallas Cowboys have not been to an NFC championship since 1997. Or since 1997, they've been to zero NFC championships. Tom Brady gets into the NFC and is already won his first NFC championship. There's some perspective for you. This man comes into a different, league and different side of things. Gets out of the AFC and goes to the NFC, and there were some rocky parts. The first game they got whooped off by the Saints, and there was a couple of games in between where they had issues. They had people go down for injuries, like Mike Evans, which was a big loss at one point. But still, with 11-5, they came out and they were dominant from the start. They led off with the touchdown. They ended up scoring another 14 points in the second quarter. They kind of slowed down a little, especially in the third. But the defense was just, keeping the Packers and Aaron Rodgers in check. It was a close game, 31-26, and Buccaneers, winning in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers doesn't know what the future means for him right now. He had a really good game, 346 yards, 3 touchdowns. Wasn't
he playing injured though? Wasn't he not playing injured?
I heard he had some, nothing too crazy. There were some people like one of the wide receivers of the Bills that was playing with a partially broken leg. This is the playoffs. Like, you're gonna play.
Yeah,
so
that's messed up.
Now with Tom Brady, Tom Brady wasn't the best quarterback out there. He was great when he had to be, but he relied on his team. And maybe that's a little bit of being outside the system, the Belichick system. Maybe that's a little bit of he's 40-3. Playing a very physical game where he did get knocked down a bit.
Right, but you know what? Do you think, honestly, it was, this may sound kind of messed up, but do you think it's just because it's not Belichick? It's like, it was all Brady this whole time? I just don't, like I said,
first year out, we see, the Patriots don't even make it to the playoffs, but Tom Brady is punching to his 10th Super Bowl.
Right, so that means it wasn't the Belichick system.
Count them on your piggies.
Yeah. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10.
That's quite a feat for Tom Brady,
right?
Or for anybody. 10 Super Bowls. There's teams that haven't even been to 1. Tom Brady himself has been to 10. But it was. It's a great game. That one was a very hands-off game. There was a lot of hand fighting and stuff like that. I think
Cause is calling you out. Cause is like saying that's a lie flash. You're fake. You're dropping fake news, man. I'm sure many Dallas Cowboys players purchased tickets for the Super Bowl in 2011 when it was in Arlington, Texas. You read that when he's making a joke on Dallas Cowboys. He said, "I'm pretty sure." I
remember that because that's when the Giants won. Yeah. We've done that twice and gone to the Super Bowl. God, I feel bad for Dallas Cowboy fans.
I don't want to.
Dallas Cowboys haven't won an NFC championship since 1997.
I'm not going to say anything.
Giants at least won 2.
I'm a Raiders fan, so I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to sit here and just watch you talk about it. Just like,
I wonder how many Cowboy fans are going to send hate mail. Fuck you, Flash. How dare you make fun of America's team? America's team that has a weird Hobbit thing going on, and Jerry Jones, who's about to become the coach, GM, and owner. Shit, Jerry Jones is about to become a wide receiver if he gets pissed off enough. Jerry Jones is the Dallas Cowboys at this point.
He is a Dallas Cowboys. Exactly that.
Jerry Jones, owner, GM, coach, quarterback, cheerleader. Jerry Jones out there in a little onesie thing.
Okay, so we did our picks. So we did our picks for the Super Bowl now, or for the championship rounds. Now the Super Bowl. Who you hitting up? Who you favoring?
I don't know. I might have to wait on my prediction until Monday. But if we're talking now, I'm going to say Chiefs. I do think Tom Brady's the man. Like, I can't, even though the Giants have beat him twice in the Super Bowl, go Giants. Tom Brady, outside of that, doesn't lose. He loses very rarely. The man's got, more hardware than, so many people. But I do believe that his team, I do think age is catching up with him. He's still a great player. But his the Buccaneers defense did a lot. They had like 3 picks and something like that. I just think the Chiefs have a more solid team. I think Patrick Mahomes is a more versatile quarterback, and I do think that it's going to come down to honestly defenses. And I love to say that because I love defense. I think it's going to come down to defenses. Now, the Chiefs are losing their starting outside tackle. Apparently, he tore his Achilles, so hopefully speedy recovery for him. But, I'm going to say Chiefs. I'm going to say it's going to be a good scoring game. I'm going to say it's going to be 27-21. Chiefs. I'm
saying Chiefs, and I think it's going to be. I'd say I would probably go with that. I'm going to go with Chiefs as well. I think the defense I think is gonna rock it. I think the offense is good as long as Mahomes doesn't get his bell rung again, and it doesn't slow him up. I think I'm telling you, man. I don't want to say I'm not gonna say I hate the. I can't believe again. I cannot believe. I'm saying I want the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, but that's because I'm not a Bucs fan. And even on top of that, and I got some family out there, they're gonna get mad when I say this. I'm not a Brady fan either.
I mean, I'm not a Brady fan, but greatness,
right? No, but right. But do you think there were some bandwagon jumpers for going over to when he went over there?
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Everyone's all of a sudden going.
More people.
Yeah, I stick. At least I'm loyal to my team still, somewhat. Whenever they stop moving.
Good or bad, good season, bad season, or nearly zero win seasons. But I do believe there's a lot more people who are like, oh yeah, I've always loved the Buccaneers. Like I have receipts. I know who's been a Buccaneer and Chiefs fan. Like I remember the people who were Chiefs fans before Mahomes, and I remember the Buccaneer fans before Tom Brady came to town. Now here's my question: win or lose, does Tom Brady retire after this season?
Yes. No. Nope. If he loses, no. If he wins, yes. Does that make sense?
See, I'm kind of the opposite. I think if he loses, he's done.
Really? No.
I do.
I think he'll get hungry for one more.
I wouldn't be if I think it'll be. I think after the season he will finally retire. I mean, I think this was his swan song to prove that he could play at a high caliber level and be that elite quarterback without the Dark Emperor Belichick. I think this was his moment. The season wasn't perfect. 11-5 record. It had some rocky moments, but this was his chance to come out and go, Belichick, I can do this without you, and he did. Right. He made it to the Super Bowl, and I do feel that he's up there, and I kind of think his wife's going to be like, could you stop? I think I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers called it in. One of my predictions did happen. Philip Rivers did finally throw in the towel. He's retiring.
That's true.
And I'm still waiting on Ben Roethlisberger. I think he's getting close to retirement too, because he took a lot of hits this season as well. So Phil, from that draft class that we gave us, several Super Bowl championship wins and appearances and stuff like that between Eli Manning, Philip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger. I do feel that. Philip Rivers is throwing in the towel, and I think Big Ben is going to, if not this year, I think he's going to be really close. But I kind of feel like I have a feeling we could lose a couple of big-name quarterbacks all in this year. We could lose Rodgers, Brady, and Roethlisberger. We already lost Philip Rivers. So, I mean, this could be just, we're going to start, which is good for if you're a quarterback in college because, a lot of people are worried about Trevor Lawrence from Clemson, whether he's going to go first round or not. Which I think the Jets have the first round pick, so we'll see what happens. But hey, good luck to the Chiefs and the Buccaneers and Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. I'm very excited for this game.
Well, I'm not going to
next weekend. It's the weekend after.
I'm not going to be screaming. I'm not going to be saying go Chiefs. But I'm just going to say I hope the Chiefs win. How about that? Is that a good compromise? Is that okay?
Go team.
Go team. All right, we're gonna take a break right quick so we can get everything set up for George to come on from FieldCraft Survival. Can't wait. So y'all refill your glasses, go take a leak, go smoke them if you got them, and get your shots. Stand by.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Take it from me, Ice. You can't just float around space not caring about stuff forever.
The voice of U.S. Army. WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Shit in the bag, Pogue.
the sirens are going off. Another rocket attack. I've got my boots and got my ammo in my 50-pound sack. Boys headed to war in this world unknown. The only peace of mind I've got are these letters from home. Another day attack. I've tried to talk and tell you about it, but it ain't the same. All these thoughts that run through my head, well, they can't be tamed. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here. We ain't far from Kandahar.
If that's really a thing, and I get authorized to do it once, it's pretty much gonna be me sitting there talking shit, like, constantly.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
And we're back with part 2 of the Monday edition. With my host. God, see, I'm messing up. It's already Monday with my guest, George Bell. What's going on, big man?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, brother. God, like we were just talking earlier, bro. It's freaking Monday. I was calling you Mike and Frank and Bob, and I got Mike Glover's name all fucked up, and I got your, whatever. I mean, it's like it's just been one. Anyways, so how you been, man? Welcome to the show.
I've been good, man. It's the first Monday of the week. We got 4 more, but we'll get through.
No, I hear you.
But everything's been great, man. We just moved up to Utah and just settling in. We've been here since kind of September and just kind of settling in, getting in the rhythm, and it's been pretty cold here. I'll tell you that much.
I bet. In Heber City, Utah. So you guys, FieldCraft Survival moved from what location? You just said we just moved.
Yeah, we were in Prescott, Arizona for the past 3 years. And then we decided to make a move and head on up to Utah.
Awesome. So real quick, I have known you for almost 21 years, 20 years or something like that. A long ass time. So like I said earlier, I gotta talk to you like I don't know you. so tell us about yourself, man.
I was gonna play along with it, and I was like, man, it's gonna be really weird. But I'll go with
it. Yeah, tell the audience about yourself, man, and I'll jump in there and throw some tidbits about you.
Yeah, so born and raised in Steubenville, Ohio. Shout out to Steubenville, one of the best places to get pizza. Just gotta Google that. Then I joined the military. Fresh out of 1 year of a failed college experiment, I guess you could say. And then I came to the recruiter's office after that college. It just didn't work out for me. You know what I mean? School wasn't for me. I wanted to work and get a job and do something. So I got with the recruiter and I was like, listen, I want to go right now. I want to go. They were like, okay, slow down there, high speed. We're going to get you set up here. What do you want to do? I was like, I want to jump out of planes. My son's down here, everybody, so I apologize.
You're good.
And I said to the recruiter, I said, I just want to be airborne, I think that's a cool thing to do. Just send me away. I want to, infantry, whatever. I don't care. They're like, oh, well, this is, the time you want to go isn't right, but here's this MOS. I was like, what the hell is MLS? Anyway, and I'm like, oh, psychological operations. I was like, okay, I read the description. It said airborne special operations. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. I did it. And then I've been, I joined in. I was SOP since I joined, and I was SOP when I retired, and everything in between. I've had all my deployments, Afghanistan, and I finally got my embassy deployments to Ukraine, and got my PCS move over to Germany, and I hit all of the stops, I guess, along my career. And I finally got that jump master out of the way, but I didn't get that, some of the other things, but I guess it was about that time.
Yeah.
In my career, I was, 18 years, and I'm like, do I really want to do this again or do this for another 3 or 4 years? And, I just decided it was just time for me to hang it up. I just didn't have that drive.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. When it's no longer fun, then and it becomes work. Then why do it? You know what I mean?
It just wore off.
Yeah.
It became. It honestly in the MOS it became a competition instead of like a. I don't even know the word, like a career. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
It became more like who's. I just didn't like that at all. It was it was time to go.
So now, when did you join? When did you join the Army to come into PSYOP?
I it was October of 1998.
Okay, so then 9/11 kicked off after a couple of years come in, and you and I'm going to talk about this. I said I was going to brag you up. You were one of 4 individuals that did something that was considered very rare for a PSYOP to do during in October 7th, I believe, right, in 2001. What was it?
It's October 19th.
Oh, October 19th. I'm sorry. It was, October 7th. I'm sorry. 7th was the initial. Yeah. 19th was the. Yeah, my bad. Of course, you would know better than me. What did you do? What was the huge milestone for the psychological operations regiment that you did? What did you do on that day?
Look, it was a great day. I mean, I was lucky. I was blessed, and just my number got called that day. You know what I mean? It was nothing that I did special, but I was part of the airborne assault into Objective Rhino with 3rd Ranger Battalion. It was kind of like a airfield seizure. It was in southern Afghanistan, like southern of Kandahar area. So yeah, it was great, man. It was like 4 PSYOP dudes and a bunch of Rangers. I mean, we infilled into what was it, 4 C-130s, and it was the longest, most uncomfortable, shittiest airplane ride I've ever took in my life. And jumped out in the middle of Afghanistan. I mean, really, I was a brand new sergeant, fresh off the block. And come on, man, I had no idea what I was doing half the time. You know what I mean? I was just trying to survive, but trying to get on.
But you were. But go ahead.
But I knew my job, though. You know what I mean? I wasn't it was just I was new to the NCO Corps. So that was a new thing to learn. Plus, you're jumping into combat. You're going to war. You're leaving your family, and you don't know if you're coming back.
No, I hear you. No, well, I mean, the reason why I wanted to highlight that is that it was you and it was basically you were part of 4 other psychological operations sergeants that jumped in, but you were also assigned or you were attached to the 75th Ranger Regiment. And for our career field, that's the last jump we did like that was in Panama, from what I can recall.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And so it was like, go ahead.
I remember when I went to AIT in '98, and me and my my battle buddy, we would talk about jumping into combat with the Rangers every day, because we were just dumb privates that didn't know what the hell we were talking about. And it was just one day, we're going to be there. We're going to jump in with the Rangers, man. We're going to get our combat scroll and our muster stain. I was like, all right, let's go,
Yeah, it's just incredible. So after that, you hit the ground, and you did like you said, you did your mission, and you got back. What did you stay? What did you do after that within the regiment? What was your? I mean, you don't have to go into too much detail, but can you just give us some wave tops of what was your life at? What was your life going to other assignments?
Yeah, so after that first rotation, we got back to Bragg. It was December 6th. I remember that day. And then on the 26th of December, the day after Christmas, I was back out with 1st Ranger Battalion. We went back and back to Afghanistan. That was my second rotation with them. And then, after you get back, you're still in their training cycle. So then you had to do the JRXs and the fixed wings, the rotary wings, all those things, and then you go to your deployment. And then so I did that for 3 or 4 times, which was it was probably one of my best times in the military was working with those guys.
So then after a few years, then you decided to go to another portion of the PSYOP regiment where you said you were deployed. You were doing some embassy missions. What's up with that? What do those missions entail?
I did my first embassy mission when I think I was after 14 years in. But my first embassy mission was to Ukraine, and our our mission was to go. Basically, our only mission to go when we were there was to support the election.
Right.
But once we got there, we had no connections. We had no networking. We had a couple hey, we're going to go here and meet these people and, get our little foot in the door. But, so we had nobody, really nobody to talk to, nobody to network with, nobody to really get the information we were trying to get. I mean, we got what we needed at the time. But once we were there, man, I mean, we started just getting networking like crazy, because people knew who we were doing, what we were doing within the embassy. And, everybody, we were like the new shiny toy. So word gets out and then people want to start working with us. And by the time we got done with that mission, we were doing the police, working with the police, working with the military. We were working with the ministry or one of the ministries or something like that. Putting all these programs together, and it was coming together really well. So
right.
But by the time we got done, our network was it was huge, and all we did was just go talk to people. I mean, that's all it was talking to somebody.
So do you think now after that time, if you could do it all over again, would you have gone back to do it again if you were to? Because you also did some other shit too. Weren't you doing some? I mean, come on, dude. We were in Africa together. Come on, start talk. I'm just messing with you.
No. Yeah. So I mean, but my career was kind of because I got to do this UAV thing.
Yeah,
for
3
years.
Yeah, exactly. You got to do the WESADs, right? It was some psyop.
That was the wind supported aerial delivery system.
Right. Exactly.
It was let's be honest, man. That shit was a laughing stock. That shit. Like you said, I'll tell people, yeah, I'm in the WESAD. They're like, what the f are you talking about? What is that? And then they look at it, it's like, oh my god. It was just but it was funny though. It was
right.
It was a good time. Let's just say that. That's probably one of the best times. That was a good time right there. I just want to leave it at that. That was a really good time with those guys.
Right.
And gals. So.
Yeah, I just want to get that out of you.
And then I did the training with industry. So I had dude, if you look back on my career, it's probably this guy was out here smoking and joking. So I go from the WESADs to a year working at WRAL TV Channel 5. And I'm going for a whole year. I'm basically a civilian for a year. I'm up there in Raleigh working at the TV station. And after that year, I came back to the regiment. I think I came back to, what was that? No, did I go to the WESAD? No, I went to the WESAD after WRAL.
Exactly. I was gonna say Joe Colabuno is inside the chats, and he said that that you were the only thing awesome about the WESADs. Just you, not the WESADs, but you.
Thanks, man.
Colabuno pauses is in the chat. So.
So anyway, yeah. So I did the WESAD thing, and then I was an instructor. I was over at the NCO Academy for 3 years. And then that was, the instructor thing was cool. I mean, it was kind of whatever it was.
Right.
But then after that, I was it was that time in my career where it was you're either going to grab a shitty PCS to the 82nd, we're going to hate it. No offense, but come on, let's be real right now. And then, or you can volunteer and go overseas and, kind of pick your assignment if you're volunteering,
Right.
So at the time I said, you know what, I'm going to go to Germany, I'm going to go anywhere. And, so I picked Germany, and then me and my wife at the time, we got the assignment she got the assignment to AFRICOM, and I got the assignment to Africa, which was it was so nice. I got lucked out, man. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
Working at the T-Stock was working, it was working at a place that you wish the rest of your career could be like that.
You're wondering how come nobody else can be like this? If we're training up for this crap, why can't the rest of the organization run like this? You know what I mean?
Oh my god! It should be it should be you should have to do at least 3 months at a TSOC just so you know how to run your company. You know what I mean? Like, or your battalion or whatever. Like, that should be a new role.
So then you get there and you're knocking out some stuff. Then something happens. This is the anniversary of a big event that happened coming up in on the continent. What happened? What was up going on there? You were doing some counter-proliferation stuff.
That Benghazi attack.
Yeah.
Benghazi attack took place.
Can you talk about that stuff a little bit?
Oh yeah. So the attack happened, and I was trying to get to Libya. Like I was just volunteering. I was talking to Sergeant Major. I was like, I want to go to Libya, Team Libya, MTOIC, please, sir, may I have a please, And so I finally, I think after it took a little bit, I had to get in there and had to grind it out, and finally they were like, okay, yeah, you can go. And I don't know if that was before or after, but during that attack or whatever, I got the call up, and they were like, hey, get ready, you're going to be going down there in a couple of days. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm ready to go, I was ready. I was I was excited to do my job,
Right.
It was pumped, it was just like something like it was real, So, but it was a couple of days after, and then it was weird because I'm flying to Germany, you go through Germany through it was we stopped off in I forget whatever airport it was, but when you stopped off in this airport. You see, all these dudes that had beards on, they all had the same suitcase. It's we're all on the same gate. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. We're going to the same place, guys, thumbs up,
Yeah, really.
Let's do this, thumbs up, And then, but it was just it was the embassy guys. They're, what they're called, or the State Department. They're RSO guys.
Gotcha. You're talking about the DSS dudes?
And yeah, exactly. And then but it was cool because once we got in there, everyone started, talking to everybody, started connecting. Oh, this guy, I know that guy, and then all of a sudden, everyone's talking, and if we ever need something, they, we became good friends,
Yeah.
So,
well, the reason why I say that is because just months prior, during all that stuff was happening, that was the kickoff of the Arab Spring, right? I mean, that was the that was the big deal. So when you headed down and after the attack on Benghazi, that's when all the protests started happening around the middle of February. Were you involved in some of that stuff? What were some of your mission sets over there? If you can't talk about it, that's cool because I know it's still recently new.
I mean, I don't know. We weren't down there. I was a Team Libya NCOIC. I was in charge of making sure everyone was getting their funds for the training. So we were training people, and it was funny because you never know who was going to show up out at the camp when we were training. You didn't know if everyone was going to show up, half the squad was going to show up, but it was always a gamble because we didn't know who people were, who they belonged to. I'm not saying they were bad, but just
right.
In general, if they belonged to that unit that was at the camp or whatever. So it took a lot of, man, it took every part of being an NCO and being a leader and being honestly, the most professional you could be, because you didn't want to show them fuck these guys, man, they don't want to train or they're messing up, but you just always stay positive. You always kept it moving, and it worked for us. So we had a lot of loyal guys, and then towards the end, we were calling each other brother, and we were breaking bread with each other, and we had guys cooking for their families, cooking for us, and things like that. So
right.
But we were there as a just a counterterrorism force, So, and then so we were just setting up and getting all the funding, and I'll tell you what, that's another animal was just taking care of funds, man.
Oh man, I bet
that is a scary thing. It's scary, really scary, because you make that count. You make that first count, you're like, oh, I'm off like a G, I'm all right, let me count it again.
So,
and then all of a sudden, you find it, it's in there. It's what was I doing? And you get have these panic attacks because you're like, oh my God, where is this money at?
So So real quick then, you get back, you finish that set. Now, did you already? Were you obviously were there when the Benghazi thing just happened, right? Didn't it just happen? The Benghazi event, like just the September 11th prior.
I mean, yeah, 'cause I got there in. Well, wait, I think I got there in 2010.
Right.
So I think the Benghazi thing happened with 2011, right? So yeah, it was about a year.
Okay. Now did
But
you?
I'll tell you what, man. As soon as I, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. Did you get a sense that type of environment was gonna happen? Like it felt like it was. Can you sense it? Could you feel like, oh shit, this stuff's gonna tick up? Because literally, you had to hear Square going on in Egypt. You had all this shit going on with the Arab Spring. With Libya, Kuwait. Everyone's freaking out all over the northern portion of Africa. So I was just kind of curious. Did you guys?
Well, we didn't know. Like, I mean, me like looking back on it, like. I really didn't think it was going to get like that out of hand. Like, I didn't think it was going to be like an opportunity. They took the opportunity. I mean, obviously they took the opportunity they took advantage of the situation, but I didn't really think it was going to be like that.
Right.
Like it was, man, I mean, that was pretty intense for that amount of time. It was, they were on the ground. So just imagine like if there was, I don't know, like that was scary.
I could imagine. So you finish up your stuff, you get back to the States, and then what? Is that when you decide to say, hey, fuck it, I'm done, I'm finished? What was the one that just decided?
Oh no, that was like I got back to the States, and then I went to 6th Battalion when I got back. So when I got back, when I PCS back from Germany, I went to 6th Battalion.
Yep.
And then from there, I went to Ukraine, and then I went to back to Germany, and I was in like a soccer. We did that like what are they called, the Mistiff, or not Mistiff, but the regional Mistiff team or something like that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know if they're called. Are they called PSYOP? Are we back to PSYOP?
Yeah, we are back to PSYOP again. Yeah, we're not.
Okay.
We're it's POTF, Japotif, Sapotif, of POTF. Yeah, we're back. Well, we're gonna have Colonel Muster from the 8th PSYOP group coming on, and he's gonna break that down for us too. So we're gonna get down to the to the brass tacks about that stuff. So continue. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. We're back. Well, we're gonna have. What's that?
What were we talking about?
So you get back. You're assigned to 6th PSYOP Battalion. What's up? What's up next?
Oh yeah. 6th Battalion, and I go to Ukraine, and then I go to Germany to support soccer, and then like all the teams that were in. Where were they at? There was one in Lithuania, I think, or somewhere around there. But like we support those guys, whatever they needed, make sure all their stuff was getting through. It was a really, it was a staff deployment. You know what I mean? I can't cut it any other way. But I did have the opportunity to go to it was Trident Juncture. I got to be the like PSYOP planner representative for the SOC, but I got to work with the Germans, the Polish, the Spaniards, and the Canadians, and it was a great, like, I think it was like 2.5 weeks. Man, it was a great time. Met a lot of nice dudes.
You are like really,
nice gals.
You're selling the MOS, man. That's what I'm talking about. Everyone's like DMing me. What's PSYOP? What's the MOS for PSYOP?
It was fun, man.
Colabuna says that.
I'll tell you what.
Colabuna just said that you were touristing in Morocco and flicked a cigarette, but a little too close to the fruit stand. That's what Colabuna said.
Damn, okay. Okay. But no, man, like the Germans, their PSYOP was on point. Like they had a good thing going for that exercise. And their PSYOP, I mean, in general, was off the chain. Like they were really good at what they did.
Yeah. Good deal. Okay, so now you're out. I mean, you're about ready to retire. You're about ready to kick it, and then you go into FieldCraft Survival. How did you hear about FieldCraft Survival, and what exactly is FieldCraft Survival?
So I heard about FieldCraft Survival because when I was in Libya, I was with a dude named Mike Glover, the owner of FieldCraft, and we became like we just stayed friends after we kind of parted ways, and I was like on my last 2 days, or 2 days. My last couple of years in the Army, and I got in touch with him, and he's like, "Hey man, come work for me at FieldCraft." You know, I was like, "Well, like, what do you want me to do?" He's like, "I don't know. You can be my ops guy. You know, help me with stuff around here. Just, you know, work for me." I was like, "Yeah, sounds good. I'll do it." So, you know, I did my whole like retirement thing, and then I went and packed up the house and everything, and drove me and the wife. She was 7 months pregnant at the time. Cross country to Prescott, Arizona, and was there for 2 years. And then I started out packing boxes, shipping stuff out, doing all the ops kind of stuff. And then and now I'm sitting in the VP seat.
I'm about to say, man, you're straight VPing now. So
and,
yeah, you guys are doing awesome.
It's been great.
Yeah. So can you give us a little bit about what FieldCraft Survival is all about? I mean, I know me and you know what it's about, but exactly what, if you can explain to somebody what type of organization you work for.
So, in a nutshell, I mean, basically is we teach preparedness. We want people to be prepared. So we want to take the average citizen and just make sure that they're able to, you know, get out of a bad situation if something happens, whether it's a man-made situation, like a, you know, some like bad weather type happen, you know, hurricane or anything like that, just so that you're better prepared and you're more safe, and you have the tools that can keep you safe, and you just make the better decisions, either exit or stay, or, you know, whatever the right decision is that you make.
Now, you also do some teaching. I mean, what do you guys do for teaching?
Oh yeah, no doubt. We have if you go to the website, you know, FieldCraftSurvival.com, we have a training section, and we have everything from carbine training, we have pistol training, we have long gun training, we have survival training. Right now in Utah, we have a lot of ballistics classes. We have land nav courses that's going on. We have survival seminars and things like that. So kind of like we have an area in the warehouse where we just cut out an area for like seminars and things like that. We're doing more like webinars. We're actually getting a kind of a 180 trainer where you get in and you have like the gas powered guns and you shoot like a different, like 800 scenarios and things like that. So we'll have that as well for classes. And so we're trying to expand and, you know, trying to, I guess, diversify through this COVID, you know, and then with the ammo shortage as well. So we're just trying to get as much training as we can get out there to everybody.
Dude, tell me about the COVID environment, man. It's how are you guys handling it out there?
We do the whole social distancing, we do the mask, but it is what it is. I mean, if we put the class on, and if you feel comfortable coming, you know, wear your mask, social distance, and we'll get you trained up. So, I mean, I think if you go on the website right now, I mean, I think 99.9% of the courses are sold out. So
right,
people are wanting to get trained, which is awesome to see, and they're not letting COVID stop them, which is good.
No, we're the audience is looking at the website right now. I'm trickling. While we're talking, and we've been shooting the shit. I've been throwing some graphics up. So,
cool.
Yeah. So on the training portion of it, you got all training. You have ballistics, digital training, firearms. Let me see what this digital training shit's about. Let me check that out. What y'all doing with digital training? You guys do SSDs or something? No, I'm just kidding.
I think it's more like or like webinars, and then we have like you can. It's like a video you get, like for a grip. We have I think we have gunfighter pistol on there.
Yeah, you do.
If I'm not mistaken. And
yep.
We have like training plans and things like that.
That's awesome. I'm just striggling through here. So let me see. Let me go. Premium content. What's the premium content about? What's this?
So we have locals. We're on locals, and so all the premium content's on locals, and you get on there, and we have all the training. And then if you have questions, you can ask questions. We interact, and anything that you have a question on, you can ask. And then there's all kind of videos and just all that kind of stuff on the local side.
Let's see. Let me look for some of the stuff in here. You got some of the products here. You got accessories. All this. Oh, you even got survival food. I saw.
Yeah, we got a little, we got our little granola, our little granola mix.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, sold out, man. Your guys is freaking. You guys are rocking on your stuff because I was looking.
We're actually up in Heber City. We're actually having a little retail store opening up, kind of here soon in the next month or so. So we're trying to do it for a soft opening February 2nd, but we'll see.
Now, most of this stuff here, I'm looking at some of the prices and stuff like that. You guys can go on to fieldcraftsurvival.com, or you can just watch me as I'm scrolling along. Are you finding what is the largest, what is the biggest, I guess say the largest percentage of your training going to? Like, who are your audience that you're noticing that they're starting to take these classes?
I mean, obviously you get the regular male, 18 to 55, you're just regular guy. But I mean, we've gotten a lot of like families come in, like a lot of husband and wives. We have a lot of older people out there. A lot more females are in the courses. So we get a variety of people. I mean, I hate to say that, but I mean, what it is. Like all the class pictures I look at, I'm like, wow, these are new faces. You see a lot of new faces. And when a few years ago, you saw like a lot of the same faces at every course because, we only had so many courses going on at the time, and a lot of people took the training. So, but now you see all these people. They're from all walks of life, like lawyers, doctors. I mean, everybody. So
now
it's cool to see.
Right. When you're having these training events cycle through, are you picking up little lessons or picking up cues on what the environment is out there, what some of the people are saying from where they're coming from?
Yeah. So like when I talk to Raul Martinez, he's our head instructor. He runs the FieldCraft training side of the house, and we do video testimonials, and then we have people like, fill out just, hey, a review and stuff like that. And so we get a lot of, he gets a lot of feedback of just people. We get a lot of first timers. I mean, I'm talking about people who have held the gun for the first time in their hand and taken our course. You know what I mean? Like we prefer that not to be, or we prefer to take the beginner course that we have. So, but sometimes, you get people in there that have very little training on the gun, and they go through our course and their confidence is up. They're able to shoot and move. So we get a variety of just a lot of people who their first time getting into it because everything that's going on. They're people are scared. And
right, of course.
They want that training, and they find us, and we have a lot of training courses, and so we get a lot of those people that are just first timers, coming into the training and wanting to learn. So
now, are you finding it now that individuals that you wouldn't expect to show up to that training buy into it, like someone that you wouldn't expect at all to get that type of training? I mean, because normally, you know what I mean. I'm just curious. Do you normally find individuals like, I don't know, fucking teachers or something like that would normally you would never see or something like that?
Sometimes you get kind of like the surprise, like, oh, you're like a teacher, or oh, you do this, and it's like, well, I would never. I mean, not to stereotype anybody, but it's like, well, I would never think of someone in that profession to be like wanting to get their hands on a gun and go shoot. So,
right.
But good on them. I mean, it's like you just proved me wrong, and now I'm like, oh, now I'm the asshole.
Now I notice you guys have different locations for you. See Sarah, California, Dallas, Denver, Fort Worth, Jonesboro, Lancaster, Las Vegas, Lawrence, South Carolina.
Our goal is to get in all 50 states.
I was about to say it. Now, are these obviously? These aren't franchise. Like Mike knows exactly who these guys are. It's like that's it. Those are his joints. He's not a franchise or something like that, right?
No, not at all. It's like you'll get a lot. You'll have a lot of the same instructors going to their courses. It's like Raul, he runs the team, and his team is solid. It's like, and it's a great team he has. So yeah, everything that they do is like, it's legit. It's not like a chain type situation.
Now you guys are also writing up. You have Ernest Shackleton freaking writing up survival blogs. What's he like? I mean, I've
so we're doing this series of stories of survival right now, and the Shackleton one is just it's like a very just interesting one to Mike and a couple of us at the company, and then we just kind of decide. Well, we didn't decide. We were just kind of talking, and it's like, man, we should really research this and then throw some content out there of it, and then do some write some articles, and then just see what happens. So one thing led to another. They did. We do a little Stories of Survival show right now, and it kind of morphed into this. We're kind of going back to. We're going to do a journal, kind of like a 4-issue journal a year, like 4 times a year.
Right.
And just kind of like stuff that we want to talk about. Like I'm going to talk about my first deer hunt and like cooking outside and stuff like that. So we're just putting just trying new things and see what happens. So yeah.
Oh no, we got your your cooking show. We're gonna blast your cooking, your off the grid cooking after we're done with this. That's gonna close the show because everyone's like, what does he look like? Does he whatever? So we got Colabuno in the freaking chats wanting to show his show his moves at you, I guess, like that.
So just let you know, so that show we're doing another show called Insert Ingredient Here. That's the new title. Just to get that out there.
Oh, okay. So it's not going to be off the grid anymore. It's going to be insert new.
No, because it kind of got to the point, like people were like mean on YouTube, man, and I'm just like,
people are mean everywhere, bro.
People, I don't want to read the comments, but man, people were like, this isn't off grid. So I'm like, you know what? I'm done. So I got like all kind of stuff I want to cook with, so I got all kind of more ideas, and I don't want to be like outside in the cold cooking, you know what I mean? To be honest with you, I want to be able to like use my Traeger. I want to be able to use like my kitchen and show people how to do stuff. If you think about survival is, hey man, cooking survival, why not? It's a life skill. Right.
I don't think anybody realizes how important it is, though. That's the thing. Nobody realizes that you could talk all you want and all this other shit, but when there's a scenario developed, like you were saying earlier, you can't. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? That's one thing I'm putting links in the post too, by the way, while we're talking. Nobody thinks about that stuff. One of the things that I thought was pretty cool when Mike was talking about getting punched in the face, and all of a sudden like Mike Tyson says, you don't know what reality hits you. Getting punched in the face or whatever. It's all plans change when you get punched in the face. All plans, what do you do then? What's your next reaction? What's your natural reaction? Or what muscle movements do you have? I do like that Yeti Rambler though. Shit, dude. You got some swag you want to give us, man? We'll throw some swag out for just let us know. Send us some swag. We'll do some giveaways for you.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's see what else.
We're getting some new stuff in, so when I get some new stuff in, I'll definitely do that.
Awesome. And so let me see. So what's the big plan? You said all 50 states. Due to what's happening in the current climate right now, has the government been pretty easy on you guys about getting some of this training and stuff done, or
You know what? It's pretty really, all we do is just contact a shooting club, a shooting range, and then some of us are like Raul. He's had relationships with ranges in the past, and we just call them up and we work out the date and the plan, and it's just, hey, okay, come on out, and then we advertise it and people come on out. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, and these and looking at the training, it looks pretty freaking. It's fairly cheap for what you want to do. Gunfighter pistol, gunfighter combat. It's exactly.
We try to keep it fair,
right,
in the market.
Right.
So we're not gonna overprice, and we're not also not gonna underprice, because that makes you look like you don't know what you're doing, or you're inexperienced. Not saying that you don't know what you're doing, but things like that.
Oh shit! I almost signed up for a course.
But no, we have like, there's like Raul and his team. There's a shit ton of years and experience, and you're not going to code, you're not going to leave the class and be like, I didn't learn anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're going to learn something.
Right. That's another.
That type of person.
Right. And that's another thing too, dude. Some of your training, is it they're certified? Is it certified? Do you have? Do you have, can you get, certain permits? Can you get licenses for weapons handling? What is it? When someone attends one of these training events, what's the outcome?
Really, you just get you get the training. We have our certificates just to show that, hey, you got this training and stuff like that. But unless you're doing like one of our med courses, like a med course, then that's when you usually get like a certificate or something like that. But we don't have any certificates for once you like complete the course or anything like that, like an official one that you can take like the NRA or anything like that.
So okay, but now would you be able to? Have you guys considered doing some sort of licensing like that, where like if I were to go through the course and then I can use that for concealed carry training, or no? Is that you guys aren't doing that?
No, I think the concealed carry is like more. It's more like it's regulated through the state. I think each state has their own way of doing it.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. So what's it like in Utah?
Right now it's cold, but it was like it'd be like I don't mind the cold unless it's snowing. Like if it's snowing and it's just cold, I'm okay with it. But if it's just cold, just to be cold, I'm not okay with that. But no, the people are nice here. There's a lot more to do here than it was in the last location. And no, it's just nice. It's a change of pace,
Awesome. I'm just scrolling through, I'm just giving the audience a chance to look at all your stuff right now. All right, so what's next? I mean, what are you guys' big plans? Are you guys going to go on TV, or go on like freaking Discovery? Are you guys have any big plans like that?
It's an option. You do get like, for some reason it's weird. You do get hit up when you're in this kind of genre of business. You get a lot of people hitting you up for like TV shows and things like that. So
I
don't know, man. It all depends.
I hit you up, what was it, a year ago for some support on a possible film project that didn't go through.
Yeah, man. Still waiting on that, man.
I know. So the project I'm talking to George about, it was involved. It was going to be a almost Hollywood-like event. And what was it? What was the thing that I asked you? Hey man, can you know anybody that can get me a helicopter? Was something like that I asked you?
Oh yeah.
You're like, hey man,
I have a couple people.
Yeah, I know. I remember you said. Yeah, I remember you said that. I was like, hey bro, you know anybody's got a helicopter? You're like, I do.
I do.
I remember that. Yeah, that COVID shit, dude,
like
kills a lot of stuff. Yeah, that COVID shit. No. Yeah, I mean that's one thing about that's interesting about. I mean, I'm interested in it because of that reason right there. Nobody really talks about the survival stuff. Like nobody really talks about. You could go to so many concealed carry classes. You could go to all that shit you want. Yeah. But in the end, if you go through a situation where you're carried concealed and there's an active shooter situation, what do you do from the events of the active shooter starting to do shit? All the way until, you know what I mean? How do you defend yourself? How do you render aid? What do you use for cover? What do you use to egress out of the area?
You have that course.
Right, yeah.
You have the casualty under care, or casualty, I forget how they worded it. It's like casualty under fire course.
Yeah. So
but we have that. We have the situational courses, and that's the thing that we're going to do with the 180 with the screen. We'll have all these scenarios. We'll have it in our warehouse. So we'll even have it to where you'll be in your car. We'll pull a car in to the warehouse. Boom, you'll be in the scenario. It's going to be dark. You'll have 3 screens in front of you, and we run through scenarios. So we did a resiliency course in Montana for a week, and we did like home invasion. We did with someone's coming at you with a knife. I mean, we did all the scenarios that you would see in the real world. I mean, we do it and like at one point, like it's real training. Like you're like, dudes are like going at it. They're tussling, you know what I mean? So until we say break or stop, it's game on, So we make it as real as we can within the confines of safety and things like that.
Right. That's why I'm so. I mean, not too many. I mean, there's some other, but I think, I don't know, maybe just an attraction that you guys, it just feels like you guys are different when it comes to your stuff. Like when it comes to like your medical training. I mean, me and you've talked online about the medical training stuff. I just think that it's really, it's especially with what's going on right now. I mean, we even talked about it. I've heard some of your podcasts as well. You could be rolling up on an incident and there could be, some rioting and civil disturbance, and then you get cut. What do? You know what I mean? Just shit like that.
Exactly.
You really don't.
Exactly.
You don't really think about that shit. So, but anyways.
No, I mean, you think about, like, if you ask your audience right now, how many people have a tourniquet in their car, or how many people have a stop the bleed kit on them or around them or arm's reach? You know what I mean? I mean, that's.
Oh, I got.
I mean, I'm guilty myself.
Yeah, yeah, same here. I got the old German fucking. I got the old German fucking first aid kit in my fucking truck. You know what I mean? The one that's man, because it's like it's fucking man. You got band-aids, right? And right. It says "Guten Tag, hallo." And what's funny is that I was thinking about that right before I was doing your show. I was like, man, I need to go ahead and rig up my truck to have just a first aid kit, because in the event, I mean, like when you brought up the scenario, a few weeks ago when we spoke, you could roll up on an accident and you might have to render aid, and if you don't have the right tools, or if you do have the right tools, you got to know how to apply it. I got a friend that I follow. I got somebody that I follow on Twitter, and that's what he sells. He does all these tourniquets and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I want to have him on there and have him promote his wares too. But yeah, it's just one of those things, bro, that get kind of. I don't know. I don't want to say that we've gotten soft or something like that, but I think we've forgotten stuff. We've forgotten bushcraft. We've forgotten going out and shit like that.
Yeah, and I don't like to use the word complacent, because I like to think like I'm still aware of what's going on. Like, I may have forgotten like my med kit one day at home, but like I'm still aware. I'm like, I know what's going on around me. It's just not. Damn, I shouldn't have that piece of equipment with me today. So.
Yeah. Or you shouldn't have to think about that or whatever. But anywho, hey, George, hey, thanks so much for hanging out, bro. I mean,
dude, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, this is great.
Yeah, this has been fun. Guys, gals, this is George Bell, VP of FieldCraft Survival, and of course, check out the website that you guys been seeing scrolling about. Look at that new mobility bag. You get drinks by the campfire. And right at the end of the show, the last few minutes of the show, George is going to present his off the grid cooking. I think it's the podcast. It's the episode where we're cooking some freaking croissant French toast. Yeah, the French toast. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Oh man,
I did homemade whipped cream.
Yes, I gotta play that. Cream. That was an awesome experience. Hell yeah. So
yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah. So again, George, thank you for hanging out. And you got anything you want to say to the audience?
Oh, just if you want to support FieldCraft, you know where to go. He just showed you the website, but if you don't know, fieldcraftsurvival.com, and just give us a look, and just appreciate everybody's support. All right, we're gonna take a break right quick, and we'll be right back. So you guys, go get your shots, go get your go refill. Yeah, go smoke them if you got them. Go take a leak, and we'll be right back. Stand by.
It's my
Wear a condom? We're in Fayetteville. No one gets STDs here.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
And we're back. Oh man, I think Flash is having some interweb problems. Flash, you there? Flash, are you there? Flash. Let's see. Let me see if he's in the chats. I almost looks like Foghorn Leghorn. I see. Dude, it's just been a Monday for me, man. I'm telling you, it has been a Monday for me. Real quick, shout out to George Bell coming back from FieldCraft Survival. That's awesome. Great dude, man. If you guys don't know him already, you can just go ahead and check him out at his website, and you can see exactly what his organization does. It's really good stuff. Again, like I said, it's one of those things that's important when it comes to bushcraft, fieldcraft. There's just some things you don't know that could hit you. And you don't know how to react, or you don't know what to react. And some of the things I think and I don't want to sound like fucking, no, I'm going to say it. As a dude, or as anybody, as a person, as the head of the household, man or woman, you might be faced with some sort of event that could have you being in charge of securing a situation to where you have to render aid, or you'll have to assist in the defense of the individuals of your loved ones. So it doesn't have to be a man or a woman, just the head of the household. It could be, a wife. It could be a husband, taking his kid to school, whatever. So are you coming back, Flash? Flash, if you're not going to come back, then that's cool. I'm kind of, if anything else, you guys want to know how to make some, as a matter of fact, I'm going to tell Flash not to come back. You guys want to know how to make some French toast out in the field with George? You want to do some cooking with George? It's time to get some cooking with George. Matter of fact, Flash, don't come back. Don't come back. I think the audience will have a good time checking this out. So real quick, for you guys that are listening right now, don't forget we can you can always download our stuff on each of the platforms, from Facebook, from YouTube, from hell, you can even go. Let's look right now on Twitter. If you're listening to us on Periscope, you can listen to us on Twitch. You can go on MoCrush. You can, pretty much we're downloadable on 14 other fucking platforms as well. Also listening to us on WTFNationRadio.com's website, and it's really freaking easy to download. So if you're on Stitcher, iHeartRadio, CastBox, Mixcloud, TuneIn, Player FM, iVoox, Twitch, like I said before, WTFNationRadio.com. Download us the podcast on Google Play and Apple Podcasts, and you'll be able to download. Or you can just go on the TuneIn app if you don't believe in listening to all those apps at all. Let's see what's going on I'm gonna do some housekeeping right quick. Since we're gonna do some cooking. We're gonna cook some French toast. I can't wait. I'm excited. So we had George coming on today. Now I'm just giving you some update. We're gonna have Carl Whalen and Kayla Collette on the 29th of January, this Friday. Army veteran Carl Whalen is a co-founder of and president of the Back the Heroes Rumble, and will be on to talk about what they do for our veterans and service members and first responders. Back the Heroes Rumble is recognized in Ohio as a 501 Charlie nonprofit corporate organization in support of law enforcement, first responders, firefighters, and military and servicemen and women in the veteran community. Carla Collette is also Coletta. I'm sorry, I keep messing the name. I apologize. The widow of Jason Coletta, who will be here to join with Carl to share her story on how Back the Heroes Rumble supported her during her loss of her husband, Sergeant Joseph Collette, who was killed in Afghanistan. On 4 February, for Sergeant's Time, we're going to have Colonel Jeremy Mister of the 8th Psychological Operations Group. He's going to come on here talking about his organization, what PSYOP is, and what PSYOP does. I know George was trying to articulate it a little bit, but he's been out for a minute, and I've been out for a minute too. So Colonel Mister is going to be able to come on here and give us all of his organizational capabilities, what the missions are, what is PSYOP, what does it do, and I'm pretty excited about it. To include a talk about the Information Warfare Center that are designed to support our forces, to compete with our near-peer adversaries from the CONUS base. More details on that. I don't want to rush, to get to this guest that we're going to come up next, but on 18th of February, on Sergeant's Time, Command Sergeant Major John Foley, USAREC, is going to be coming on. The Command Sergeant Major of USAREC. Let me say that again. The Command Sergeant Major of USAREC. I never thought we'd have anybody from USAREC show up. But anyways, he's going to come on and talk about the Force's Army recruiting mission, and of course, how we could do everyone, veterans, soldier for lives, and all that, to assist. That's a big thing. He's going to be talking about some of the strategies as well. Feel free to drop a comment in our inbox on Facebook, U.S. Army WTF Moments, or on WTF Nation Radio. Or I think Recruiter Times is also grabbing some questions to fill in too. So if anything you want to do, shit, do you want to join or talk about this? There's been some changes also, of course, you know, with the lifting of the ban of transgender soldiers. That's the hot minute. That's the hot topic. That's going to be a USAREC thing. Obviously, I've already got a ping on that. Hey, since you're going to have the USAREC Sergeant Major, what are you going to talk about? Blah 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 blah. And I'm going to ask him. So any questions you send in, they will get out. Now, let's like real questions and stuff. Don't ask me, how come I didn't? Are they still making us bend over and do the duck walk and blah 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 blah? Is that a stupid question? I don't know. But if you go to Recruiter Times, or you hit up the main page, or you hit up WTF Nation Radio and ask that question, we can probably say yes. We'll probably answer it for you. But these some of the questions here. Think about it too. This is an opportunity to ask the Command Sergeant Major of USAREC if you're a recruiter as well. And again, I'm excited. I'm pumped. So shit. With that, thank you guys and gals for hanging out tonight. Thanks again, George Bell. Hey, we're gonna go ahead and just start. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go ahead and start cooking chow. So I'm gonna play the our end of show stingers, and then we'll begin the cooking off the grid cooking with George Bell. So stand by.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. And now they say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport, now sit back, relax, and watch us through the hubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planet of America. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. We'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. Though critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber, there can only be one, of course, Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, dum, 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 ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum, dum, 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 dum. Space Force, Space Force, we'll saddle up our intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Space
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a while. I know you've been waiting for another episode of Bucket Cooking. I'm your host George, and today we are in beautiful backcountry in Utah. We finally made it to Utah, so we're here now and it's official. Today's recipe, we are making croissant French toast with a bacon crumble, homemade whipped cream, fresh toppings, maple syrup. It's gonna be delicious. So right now we're gonna go over our ingredients, what we need here. First, obviously we need croissants. You can get them from Walmart, Costco, wherever. Before you hit the trail, stop on to Costco. You get like a dozen for like 3 cents. You know, Costco's kind of crazy like that. You're gonna need whole milk. Anything less is just white water. It's disgusting. Everyone should be drinking whole milk every day, all day. Milk is life. You wanna have eggs, obviously. I got some good pasture-raised, nice, good eaten eggs. Also, you want some ground cinnamon, and I like to church it up with some pure vanilla extract just to give it a little bit more flavor. So, you know, for this recipe, there's really not a lot of measurements because it depends on if you're cooking for 1 to 12 people. So I do it by, I'm going to make enough egg mixture with milk, cinnamon, and vanilla to cover 4 croissants today. All right, so right now we're gonna take our bacon, we're gonna chop it up into nice bite-sized pieces. We're gonna put them on a Timbo tusk, get it heated up, and then set it aside, and that's what we're gonna use for our topping for the French toast croissants. Hey, so, you know, in your kit, you should have a set of tongs. And just make sure that when you open them up, you know, you got to do the 3 to 4 clicks just to make sure they're working, and then you're able to, you know, do your thing here. So we're just going to get this bacon cooked down, break it up a little bit. We want that bacon to be nice and crispy and this is going to add another flavor with the maple syrup, the croissants. What else we got on there? We got some fruits, that homemade whipped cream. I can't wait to get that going. But yeah, we're just going to let this cook down a little bit, and we'll be right back at you. You know, shout out to Timbo Tusk and this Scotto Grill. It is amazing. It's easy. It's convenient. You can take it anywhere it breaks down. You put it in your rucksack if you have one. You could put it in the back of your truck, back of your car, wherever you need to go with it, you can put this thing. All right, our bacon is done. We're gonna plate it and then set it aside for the end here. So I see the nice brown. It's just gonna be delicious. I mean, you can't go wrong with bacon on anything. So, all right. So what I like to do for my bacon when it's done is to get a paper towel and just kind of soak up all the extra grease and whatnot. You don't need to have this heated when you put it on. It's kind of more of a topping at the end, but if you want to, you can just throw it back on the Scotto Grill to warm it back up. But we're gonna put this to the side right now, and we're gonna get the croissant French toast going. All right, so we're ready to make our French toast croissants. First thing we're gonna do is add the milk. Like I said before, there's really no measurements I use for my recipe, but if you want to, I would say I would use a cup to a cup and a half of milk. But I'm just gonna pour this in here like this. I play it by eye here. That's gonna be enough for me. And if I need to, I can always add more. I wanna add 4 eggs to it. And this little table I have is from Timbo Tusk as well. It's a nice little table you can set up, keep in your truck, keep in your trunk, whatever you want to do. But it comes with 4 detachable legs, and it's a nice little workspace so you can cook for all your people on the trail or camping or anything. So from here, I'm gonna just do my, I'm gonna beat my eggs and milk with a little whisk here. So I'm gonna get that all nice and mixed up here. Just make sure all the egg yolks are beat down to where they just give up and they're no more a threat in your mixture here. All right, now we're gonna add some cinnamon. Like I said before, measurements are up to you. I do it by flavor. I kind of, you know, want to coat the top of this thing with enough cinnamon so when I put my 4 croissants in, they all get a nice coating of cinnamon on the outside. And I like to just mix that around. It likes to clump up, but you know, just beat it out of it and it will give up. All right, I got my cinnamon. Now I'm gonna add my vanilla extract. Don't go too hard on this because it will kind of overtake the flavor of the food. Just want a nice little drizzle in there of the vanilla extract, maybe a teaspoon, a half teaspoon, whatever you want to flavor. And obviously if you go over, it's not gonna be that much of a deal, but you know, to each their own. So this is the final ingredient for this mixture is the vanilla extract. Okay, get that nice and mixed in there. All right, so we got our mixtures done. It's nice, it's gonna be enough for the 4 croissants here. One of the main ingredients, always some good pure Irish butter. Shout out to Kevin Owens, this is for you. Make sure we're using the right butter here. What I like to do is I like to just use a half a stick of butter. And all you're gonna do is throw that right onto the Timbo Tusk here.
Go ahead.
Now we're gonna dip our croissants into the egg and milk and cinnamon and vanilla extract wash, you can say. And then just gonna put them right down on the Timbo Tusk. Make sure you get them nice and soaked in that wash. That's what'll make them taste really good. So what I like to do, I like to just push them down a little bit so they just cook evenly. Moving around. So I lied to y'all. I use the whole stick of butter because butter is delicious and it's gonna make these French toast croissants just stand out, you know? Best of the best right here. So what I like to do is, you know, these are cooked for about 5 to 10 minutes, depending on your temperature you want to cook it at and what you're cooking it on. You can also cook these at home in your skillet if you want to, but we're out here in the beautiful backwoods Arizona, Utah. Got this nice, lovely stream right here. So, I mean, it's a pretty good day so far. People always ask me, oh, where'd you learn to cook? Were you a cook in the military? I was like, oh God, no. That sounds terrible, to be honest with you. No, I just kind of started cooking because when you go out to eat, sometimes they just don't make the food the right way like you like it. You know, you have all these expectations when you go out. And I just kind of learned to make food for me. Make it taste good and make it taste the way I want to taste it. And I've been doing good so far, so we'll see. The main thing on these is you want to make sure you cook them all the way through, because if you don't, they're going to be a little mushy on the inside. So you want them a little crispy on the outside, and then the inside will be nice, tender, and warm, and just You know, you want to, there's no like rule on 5 minutes one side, 3 minutes one side. It doesn't matter. You can just flip it back and forth till you see it a little crisping up and it's ready to go. I mean, it's really just, you do it by sight. So if it's brown on the outside, it's going to be nice and warm on the inside. It's not going to be all soggy. I'm just going to put some to the side, let them cool down just a little bit so they're not so hot. And we are going to get into making our whipped cream. So what you're going to need for the whipped cream, you're going to get heavy whipping cream. Don't get whipping cream, get heavy whipping cream. Now there's different sugars you can use, but the powdered sugar is probably the best for this recipe. A little bit of vanilla extract, and then obviously I need to measure this recipe, so I got my half cup and a cup, and then my half teaspoon. So the main key to this, though, you're gonna use a bowl. The bowl you should use is a metal bowl that's been chilled. So in my Yeti, I have a nice bowl that's been nice and chilled all day on ice. So this is what we're gonna use. So it's gonna be a cup and a half of heavy whipping cream. And then we're gonna do a cup of powdered sugar here. So I'm gonna clean this out real quick so it doesn't stick. And then you're gonna add your half teaspoon of vanilla extract. You can do a teaspoon, but it's just a little overpowering a little bit, I think. So you can test it out. I'm gonna recommend a half teaspoon. Here's the fun part. We're gonna have to whip this until it gets nice and thick like a whipped cream. You know, I'm out here on the trail doing this because I'm out here on the trail doing it. But you can easily do this at your home before you hit the trail, and it lasts 2 to 3 days in the refrigerator. So, but right now we're gonna get after this, and it's just gonna be a lot of whipping, and it's just a lot of little endurance here, you know? So you're gonna make sure you get everything nice and mixed together here, and then you're gonna really get into the process here. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Homemade whipped cream. I mean, Doesn't get any better than that. See right here, this is kind of the texture you want. It's nice stiffness, just like the Cool Whip you get in the frozen food section, but it's better. All right, I think we got it. I think it's time to cut the fruits. All right, so I got my 3 fruit toppings here. I got my blackberries, blueberries, and strawberries. We're gonna cut up our strawberries and get the little tops off and then make them a little smaller so that they're more bite size. So what we're gonna do, simple, cut the top off of the strawberry and just cut it up nice chunks, whatever it is. It could be big, small, however you wanna do it. Nothing crazy, too easy. All right, so we are ready to serve, ready to plate. And so you're gonna make sure you got your French toast croissant. We got our bacon, blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, and whipped cream. And I found this 3-hive maple syrup plus honey, so this should be pretty legit. All right, I'm gonna do some blackberries. You know, I'm gonna do some blueberries. You know, that's okay. That's okay. They can fall off. I'm gonna do some of that, and then I'm gonna do some drizzle here. Last but not least, we're gonna do the dollop or 2 of whipped cream. Oh, just one is good. Look at that. All right, there you have it, guys. It's all ready to go. We're gonna do a little taste test, but remember, treat yourself.
Get each one of the fruits in here.
Yeah?
Okay.
Good, thank you. Delicious. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you like it, like it. If you don't, you don't. That's on you. Leave comments, anything positive, anything negative, I don't really care. I just want to make sure that you guys can see how easy it is to cook out on the trail or out camping, whatever you have to be. It doesn't necessarily have to be off-grid cooking. You can bring a stove, you can cook it before you leave the house, whatever you want to do. But just showing you ways that you can have fun, eat on the trail. Food is a very important in our culture, I guess, when we talk about overlanding, camping, outdoor stuff. You get people together with the food. So I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. I'm a little messy. I like to stir mines up. Get a little bit of everything in there, you know. Let's get a little bacon in there. Let's get a little blackberry going. Let's get that whipped cream. Mmm. Wow. That's amazing. Good job, George. All right. Cheers. Until next time.